Mary, meet Virgo. Virgo, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Virgos, starting today, the 2nd of June, 2023. And we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Jennifer, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Jason. I think I screwed up before, but I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much, Jennifer and Jason, for moderating for us today. And thank you to everybody for joining us for this 2-week reading for Virgo, sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. If you are watching on YouTube, you can, if you want to, if you're watching on a restream, you can fast forward through all of these shufflings that I'm about to do by using the timestamps in the video description. Today I'm reading with this beautiful Tarot de Luz, and I've already purified with this beautiful 300-year-old formula for eau de cologne. You can get that formula and see my demonstration about how to make that cologne, plus learn how to buy this deck in the video description of this very video that you can find on my YouTube channel. Whew, that was a lot of words. 2-week reading for Virgos. This is going to go out to a lot of Virgos, so if it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, just disregard it because it may not be meant for you. In that case, check out the other sign readings, the other readings for your other zodiacal signs. And also remember that we have a general reading for all signs each and every day except for Monday. And you can find the most recent streams of all of that on my website, ariels-corner.com, Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com. If you are watching live on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you'd like to give us a donation and you're watching live on YouTube, you could use a super sticker or super chat. And if you're watching on a restream, you could use a super thanks. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure that you follow us on Twitch. And if you'd like to watch on Twitch without any ads, please remember to subscribe. Yahoo! We have a shop at arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. We have all kinds of cool merchandise there. It's an affiliate store, and you can pick up your very own copy of any of the decks that I read with that happen to be in print. We make a small commission off of each and every sale, and we do appreciate your support. But Virgo, that's not what we really appreciate. What we appreciate is that you're here today for this 2-week reading. So I'm going to cut this deck with a nice clean cut and see what's in the cards for all of you amazing, beautiful, and very gorgeous Virgos. We've got a 3 of Wands. We've got an 8 of Swords. And we've got the Lovers card. This is nice. I'm liking it. The 8 of Swords is not my favorite card, but it's also not that big of a deal unless you make it be. The 8 of Swords is the tendency towards obsession. Now, I don't know about you, Virgo, but I can relate to that. I can get obsessed very, very easily about something, but it's not the best way of allowing our minds to be. It's sort of like letting the mind run amok. And for one thing, it's tense. It's not a happy place to be. And for another thing, it has some ramifications in that there is a creative ability in the mind. And the more we let our mind run amok, the more we can have, things manifest in our lives that we don't want. So I try to, when I notice myself obsessing, that's the problem, is actually noticing it. But when you notice that, you do notice that your mind is churning and you're going through cycle after cycle after cycle of something, you can't stop thinking about that thing, you can't stop thinking about that thing. Find that technique on my YouTube channel called the off switch. That's what I use anyway. And I find that it's very powerful when I'm dealing with obsessive thoughts and I can't shut my mind off. Use the off switch. It'll take you just a second to implement and maybe only a minute or two to learn how to use it. Okay? So just go on my YouTube channel and search Gatoga off switch and it should come right up. But other than that, you've got a lot of really good things coming up. It looks like the manifestations in your work are really starting to happen, and you don't want to miss out by being obsessed about things. You don't want to miss out on things that are happening that are for your good. And it's real easy to do that, to just like completely miss it when it starts to happen because you're focused on something that's unimportant, even though it seems important at the time. So this Lover's card is showing you that you can ask an inner guidance when it's time to make choices. And, when I'm in the place that this reading is demonstrating that you might be in, Virgo, whereas you're a little bit more susceptible to maybe obsessive thinking and not thinking as clearly as you normally do. When I'm in one of those places, I use a tool that may work for you, and that is I just assume I'm going to make the wrong decision. I just assume it. It's just like, okay, if I decide I want to do something today, I just assume that it's probably wrong, and I'm going to ask my inner guide for help. I'm going to say, what do you say? What do I do? And I just get quiet for a second, relax my body, especially my abdomen, because that's where I hold a lot of tension, and I just ask for guidance. And then I make the decision, because it's usually very clear to me at that moment when I ask what to do and what not to do. And if it's not clear, I don't do anything. I wait until I really do receive that guidance. I try not to be reactive to what's going on in my head or what I think is going on in the world. I instead wait and allow myself to be guided. I know that sounds like it can be a challenge to do that, but it's worth it. It's worth it because we all know what this is like. See, but this is just an ego trick. This isn't happening because you're doing something bad. This is happening because you're doing something good. And the ego's like, oh, I'm a self-destructive thought pattern. I must shut this down because this is bad. This is too good, right? I'm a self-destructive thought pattern in the mind of humanity. I must shut this down. So I'm going to do whatever I can do to get them distracted off the good. I know. Let's get Virgo obsessing over something stupid that has nothing to do with this. Even though it may not seem stupid in the mind, the ego thinks it's stupid. The ego thinks it's going to pull you away from what's important. So just noticing that is the 90% of the battle. Once you notice that you're obsessing over something that's not helpful, then asking for help from that inner guidance is key. So using that off switch, and then maybe if you have a chance, I have a meditation based on the Lover's card that helps you get in touch with your guide. And you don't need to do this whole meditation every time you have a decision to make, but do it once, just to kind of really, if you have time or the desire to really feel like you're connected to that inner guidance so that it's there available to you over and over again. The name of that meditation is Receive Guidance on a Choice or Decision. And you can find it in my tarot meditations. And those are available on my main channel and also on my website, ariels-corner.com, ariels-corner.com. I'm going to shuffle this one more time. Two more times. Give it a nice clean cut. And I'll open this reading up a little bit just to see what else is up with my beautiful Virgos. Well, you're not my beautiful Virgos, but with all the beautiful Virgos watching. Okay, we've got a 9 of Cups, a 7 of Swords, and a 4 of Wands. Awesome. This is awesome. No wonder the ego's so upset. Too many good things are happening for Virgo. Makes a lot of sense now. Okay, 9 of Cups, you're very magnetic. Watch your thoughts. Watch your thoughts because you're very, very magnetic, Virgo. You want to make sure that you're keeping your mind focused on the highest and best thoughts possible. That's another reason for this Lover's card, to just call on that inner guidance constantly to make sure that your thoughts are at their peak, because you are very, very magnetic to whatever. So watch your emotional energy, watch the thoughts that you're entertaining. 7 of Swords is conflict resolution. So this is telling me that you're coming out of whatever this inner conflict is, and it's also telling me that another way for you to resolve this and to shut it down, in addition to something like the off switch, is to find the beauty. Find the beauty in anything you can. If you're obsessing over something, notice it and say, well, what's beautiful about that? Where's the beauty? How can I beautify it? Sometimes if you're obsessing, the way that you can incorporate this 7 of Swords into that is to say, well, I'm obsessing over something I can't stop thinking about it. So let me just think about it. And what color is it? What is the shape of the energy pattern? Just make it up. You don't have to worry about being accurate. It's your thought. It's your thought form. Ask it. What do you look like? What does the thought pattern look like? How can I now use my power of imagination to change that pattern of energy into something more beautiful? What color do I want it to be? What shapes do I want it to have? How can I beautify that thought form that's already there? That's another wonderful way of dealing with these patterns that the ego is throwing at you. It's just like, well, okay, you want to throw me something? I'm going to make it pretty. I'm just going to make it pretty. I'm going to make it beautiful. And when you make a thought form beautiful and pretty, the way it manifests becomes very beautiful and very pretty. So that's just another tool that the cards are showing you, is to beautify the energy, beautify the thought patterns themselves. Now, this Four of Wands is talking about your favorite thing, order. It's talking about finishing tasks that are unfinished. It's talking about getting your workspace in order. It's talking about reorganizing things in your whatever your work is. That should make you happy, right? Most Virgos I know love that stuff. Not all of them, but most Virgos love that kind of stuff. And so this is telling you that if you notice that you're disorderly in your mind, then get orderly in your work environment. If you're disorderly in your mind and you can't seem to shut that down, put it to work. Put it to work. Like with me, it's not disorderly. When I'm angry about something, I find a mess and I go clean it up. That's one of the ways that I channel my anger, especially if I know that it's destructive anger and that I'm just raging and there's nothing good that's going to come of this. I just focus that anger and that rage on a closet or on a drawer or on the garage or something like that. And it's saying something similar for you, although it doesn't look like anger and rage as much as just disorderly thinking. And that when you, and then remind yourself, as I'm finishing these tasks, then my life is improving. As I'm getting something in order, so does the universe get that part of my life in order that needs it, right? And so that the Lover's card is saying that your inner guidance is there. The inner guidance is there with you, step by step by step. It's not something far off that you have to invoke and call through the mists. They're right there with you, always. So just think about that. Just think about the fact that you've got this constant companion that's only there to make sure that you're happy, that you're successful, that you're free, and that you're operating at your best as a soul in this world. So use it. Ask over and over and over again, what's my next choice? What's my next choice? There's nothing too small or too great for this inner guidance to be able to help you with. So it's a beautiful, beautiful reading. Like I said, if there's something going on in the brain that feels like an inner conflict, it's the ego trying to distract you from all this success that's happening for you. Really wonderful success. This Three of Wands, this Four of Wands here is talking about there's a big growth spurt happening in your work. And it's really wanting to turn out well for you. And the ego wants to put the brakes on that because it's a self-destructive thought pattern. And so just notice that. Just say, oh, it's just another self-destructive thought pattern. Don't give it too much weight, but instead do something about it. And like I said, use that off switch, beautify the energy, call on that inner guidance. You're doing great, Virgo. I'm thrilled. All right, I'll be back in 2 weeks for another 2-week reading. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Jennifer and Jason, and we will see you in 2 weeks, Virgo. Blessed be.